and welcome back to the Australian Esports University League, presented by Chatime Australia. It's group stages week 5 and it's heating up. We're halfway through at this point and our teams are still vying for those ever important playoff positions. I'm Jack, and joining with me today is the one and only Red. Tonight, we'll be bringing you Griffith Red versus UTS. Oh, DropoUTS indeed. It's their official team name, and what are the players that are going to be playing on tonight's match.
Alrighty, so getting into it, we should have Griffith's roster coming up first, which will be coming onto your screen in just 1 second. We're just having a little bit of technical difficulties on that one. There we go.
Here
a little
we are.
bit late on that one. But we have Asubi, we have Epsilon Jinx, Flying Luigi's, Pink Nynx, Vape Nation Max. Now, in this situation, we're going to be more than likely looking towards Pink Nynx to make those sort of big game plays. They are a bit of a they are a bit of a new roster, a new team coming together, more trying to go for like, let's just have a good time and see what we can make of it and get everything together. But as I said, Pink Nynx is the captain, and he's currently holding the best KD for them. So we're going to be trying to look at him for most of the matches.
Yes, it is very, very nice that we've got these uni teams coming in. So if you are a uni student out there and you're not in one of these siege teams and you'd like to be, go out and have a look for these players, because I talked to the Griffith Red captain just before the show actually started, and they're pretty much, they met each other through this game. So it's very nice to kind of see these friendships come out from this game that we all love and enjoy. Now, what about the UTS team? Their full name is DropoUTS, as I accidentally said it in the intro, but who are some of the notable characters on here?
Well, hopefully for tonight they won't be dropping out, but we have, I'm assuming it's ARAM, I'm not 100% on that pronunciation, but that's how I'm going to be saying it all night. Brown Hulk, Falmir, Slivale, and Zero Barley. Now, in this situation, as I said before, we're going to be mainly looking at who has higher KDs over anything. I'm fairly sure these guys are a bit of a new put-together team, but they have been showing a lot of promise in their previous games. ARAM and Brown Hulk both popping off in either game.
Yeah, that's for sure. These two teams, I reckon I would predict that they're pretty fairly matched here. So hoping for a quite close game. But as our map bans have concluded, we are going to be going on Oregon first and then the Clubhouse. What do you think about these map choices?
Well, these are pretty cookie cutter sort of picks at the end of the day. I use that term a lot, unfortunately, but a lot of the strats are already down there at the end of the day. Everybody knows how to play these, and it's really played in the same sort of method, which also means that if you are a new team or you are picking up new players or anything like that, it's easy to implement those strats into the team and have good success. So I would like to say that both teams would play their own respective maps well, but at the same time, that could also mean, because these maps are consistently played to an nth degree in Pro League already, that there is a decent chance that they could lose their own map, even so.
So, yeah, these definitely some interesting map choices. It's going to come down to which team can kind of play that map to their advantage, and really just a showdown of skill, as our two teams, while they're both relatively new, they've both made some progress in. They've both got one win on the board. Unfortunately, they're at the bottom of the leaderboards, coming in at rank 6 and 7, but never mind that. They're going to be trying to prove themselves which one is the better team here.
Alrighty, and we do have the map photos on your screen now. Even though we have already talked about it, we're going to have that up for a little bit longer. Outside of that, though, do have the polls for the win ratio, the win percentage.
Ouch.
UTS having a very, very big lead in that retrospect. 60% chance of them taking the cake, 12% draw, and 28% on Griffith.
I can't say that's too unreasonable. Well, what we know is there's a lot of UTS fans, And UTS themselves have been just slightly better on that scoreboard as well, scoring that draw versus UCID in our last match, I believe, which was actually streamed. So if you're interested, you can go back to look at that one, but of course after this stream. But what are kind of the interesting things that we might see on that clubhouse?
Well, if we're looking at it in like if we're taking in consideration the like this percentage chance, in the let's say the hypothetical chance that so we've got Oregon going first, right? And they're going to be on attack. So there's a good chance they're going to have that momentum. If they take this map away from Griffith, that could just completely put them in such a snowball effect of the momentum and giving them that sort of push they need to just to take the other team's map. So I can generally see why that it's leading in that favor. Hopefully that doesn't happen and we get a nice, clean, even game. Could go either way at the end of the day, as we said. But on Clubhouse, more than likely going to be seeing it's just going to be top floor and basement, cycled in and out. Who wins cash? That's what it comes down to.
Well, you heard it here first. Clubhouse very standard. You think it's going to go?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I reckon these teams could be putting in some curveballs actually on that Clubhouse. We talk about how Clubhouse is so defender-sided, but like a rush or two can really catch the opponents off guard. So I'm going to be interested to look forward to some of the less conventional strategies coming out. Because let me remind you, we are not playing Pro League here. This is a uni comp, and yeah, definitely some of the maybe less conventional strategies could work out to one of these teams' favor. Now, on the meantime, we'll talk a little bit more about Oregon. It's gotten a rework pretty recently, I believe, last season or this season. So, do you think these teams have kind of adapted and got this new Oregon ready for playing in this new season?
It's hard to say. Only because it's like a lot of the time you do see most of your strategies are just taken from your higher core of play and then brought down a peg, and then they're played to an iffy degree where it's just like your lower teams will still try to utilize that strategy, but they may use more roamers, or they may not hold on to like that core strategy at the end of the day. And even though it's just a rework, so a lot of the old strats still do work, there's still a little bit of like space to mix it up. And as I said, it's just like how they did rework it, which Ubisoft has done a like pretty amazing job with all their reworks so far, where it's just made it a lot easier to have any sort of roamers that you have actually spread out through the map and still be able to rotate back into the map, which has made it significantly easier, especially on Oregon, where it was just like, if you lost stairs control, that was it. There was no coming back onto the objective side a lot of the time. There was no way to get out back into the basement if you were roaming upstairs, etc. So it could just come down to how much roam play they have and how much their fraggers are willing to like push the boundaries of how cheeky they can be.
I agree. That does make a lot of sense, and I'm really glad that Ubisoft are going in that direction of doing these small reworks. We saw it on Border as well this season, Oregon last season, and yeah, just putting in fresh spin on the map, because Oregon, unfortunately, it's not been competitive for a while. As you said, the roam is too hard. And also, if you remember this from many seasons ago, there was a very interesting smoke meta where you just get Glaz to go down those main stairs, just like pick off anyone through those smokes. And that was the worst to play against. So I'm glad that that's gone. And we get this pretty much fresh take on the map, because we can get so many new strategies. I especially really like those first floor sites, so kitchen dining and the kitchen tower kind of sites, because it can hold them from a variety of ways, especially how they rework that top attic.
Yeah, giving that it's a lot of extra space and a lot of extra rotation, because it was the same problem with when they had it was the split in the big tower. It was just like, it was so completely unviable, but you would see time and time again, some big teams would just be like, well, you know what? We're going to try it. And at the end of the day, sometimes that does work in like strategy-based games where it's just like completely throwing a curveball into the mix can just throw a team off. However, that doesn't work consistently. That is why strats will always win. It works for if you're trying to throw them off for one game, but that's about as far as it goes. So
yes,
hopefully we will see a little bit of mix-up, but at the same time, I would like to see some core strats. If we don't see, when I was casting the other night, or a week or two ago with Panda, everybody running in a single file line behind a Monty, I'm going to be disappointed.
Yeah. So very interesting strategies coming out. So I'm not sure if they'll work, but we do love to see these nice takes on our traditional strategy on this stream. So any teams out there in the chat, make sure you hop on these unconventional strategies, yeah? Show us that you can win without that Melusi and that utility meta for all the ADSs. We're a bit sick of that. Our teams are getting ready right now, so be shortly into the game. What kind of bans do you think are going to be occurring on this? We're actually going to Clubhouse on as our first map.
Oh, I thought we were going to Oregon. That was my bad.
Yeah, me too.
All right,
but,
well, that completely swaps it around. Then that could go either way then, because that's Griffith's pick. So if they have the momentum and we're leading towards DropoUTS being the kind of a little bit of a stronger team, then that could really even it out to, well, pretty much just evening it out.
Yeah.
For bans for Clubhouse though, anything that wall denial, frags, thermite class, Cuddy Boy, Nomad. It's your pretty much your standards where it's just like Valkyrie, for attack. There you go, Cuddy Boy. It's because it's just like you're trying to hold that cash wall as hard as possible. It's just like you're always going to lose these basement hatches. But what's your take on the defender ones? Give us a call.
Defenders, Kai definitely gonna have to go because of our attack bans and maybe a mirror. But what I want to point out actually, as they've actually banned both the Cuddy Boy, as you call him, or Maverick, his proper name, and the Fatchy, which is gonna make getting those walls even harder than it already is on Clubhouse. Like, how are you gonna be able to open that cash wall? You're gonna have to go underneath, and our last defender ban is gonna be that Melusi, which does make a lot of sense. Melusi has those three banshees, and they're really annoying and they slow you down. But continuing on my train of thought, how are they gonna get that cash wall open? They're gonna have to either send someone downstairs or just kind of forfeit that side of the map, and that's definitely not something you'd really want to do, especially being how crucial that top floor cash wall is.
Well, depending on how many fraggers they bring, they could definitely still get it open, but it looks like they're going for a conventional take. Potentially, as you said, utilizing the IQ through the floor, but at the same time, it's super risky doing that because you have to actually take control of that lounge area, which can be very, very dangerous. It's just like you're already more than likely going to be having a guy who's sitting at the bottom of a garage to just try and hold that angle, somebody at the top of cash stairs holding the other angle. You're not going to be able to get like straight down. The only other way to do it is the Zofia underneath blue, shooting a grenade up and hoping to get it. But if it's banded batteries, yeah, it could work. It could work.
Yeah, it definitely could. Our defenders are going onto that top floor CCTV site, and you said how crucial it is to win these sites. So, especially because of just how defender side of Clubhouse normally is, and also how defender side of Clubhouse should be now with this current bans, as I mentioned. Those anti-hard breacher bans are so painful if you're on the attack. They've also brought a Rook, which is an interesting pick because while he has a good gun and a good scope, he doesn't really bring anything but that armor. But that armor could also be very useful, especially if these guys are going to be taking a little bit more of an extended gunfight. Like, while maybe in Pro League you'd headshot, they got 100% headshot rate or something crazy, but maybe those body shots could really be in handy here, so we'll just have to wait to see. Attackers are going to come in from this west side. It looks like a little bit of a split attack here.
Yeah, going back on what you said on the Rook, probably just amplifying on that really defensive playstyle where he's just hunkering down and like trying to take as much as you can. Like if you're going to be hard holding those cash stairs as well as the rafters in garage, if they're playing anyone in garage, which it doesn't look like they are, then you're really just going to be taking a bit of a beating. And first kill of tonight, Picnic's taking down Falmer.
Yeah, on the Habana as well, and from an unconventional angle, going through that strip club side. Now the defenders have to take this 4 versus 5. Luckily, the walls haven't been opened at all, so these walls actually seem to be pretty safe. The IQ is going to go downstairs, but look at this, actually. They've lost their bandit battery, so no more tricking on those walls are able to be achieved. The attackers on the other side, on the other hand, have completely taken over this first floor, but let me remind you, the site is actually on that top floor, and smoke grenades are going to be coming out very early, but still going to be doing some damage, as Vape Nation taking some damage on a gunfight, and also our captain Pink Nix being taken down by the Legion. Now Blackbeard also falling, and this attack is just falling apart. There are 2 people down, 1 finished off, but taking it down to a 3v3. This is definitely a less conventional attack than what I would have expected on this top floor.
Yeah, they managed to get into that lounge area incredibly quickly, but the downside is that we did see the DropoUTS were able to get that rotationary flank off and come up behind them, which is pretty much what you're going to be going for at the end of the day. But this is still good for Griffith's favor, as they've already cleared out all the roamers. They know where pretty much everyone is outside of Brown Hulk, who's just made himself aware on the objective. So they can pretty much play pretty freely outside of Valeron being taken out by distraction.
Yeah, some very good crossfire setup here, as look, the smoke going to be looking through that CCTV door, and also Brown Hulk here, just making his presence noted, as these last 2 attackers there kind of don't have many options left, as also the wall in that construction site is electrified, so the thermite can't even get it open. Now Flying Luigi is going to have to push through this window, and that could be suicide, but he has to make this play because there's not much else he can go through. Thermite is also forced to push through, and that's going to be the end of his life. And Zero with the final kill onto that jumping Zofia. We talked about how hard that anti-breacher ban was really to the attackers, and it looks like this is their response. Kind of that unconventional bottom floor clear didn't seem to work out this time, unfortunately.
If they were able to rotate potentially back onto the outside and get the main wall open, and then come back in and take control of Garage, they might have had a better standing. But that really big push that they did into the lounge area just underneath like the objective sites it was really good and really fast, and they utilized their time like really well. But the downside is that after they got all the assets of the other team gone, they just went, all right, we're just going to swap it up, we're going to go the other way, which really led to, as you said, the downside of they just ran out of time. They were forced to jump through windows they didn't really need to, and jump through doors they didn't need to go through. Outside of that, though, we did see Smoke was able to pick up a cheeky triple kill for that round. So off to a good start for the DropoUTS.
Yeah, it's very strong defense, as now they are going to be heading to that bottom floor site. Just in that previous round, though, just a little bit of problem with the rotations. It didn't feel like maybe there was a little bit of miscommunication. One of the team members did not quite realize that they had to get those walls open in time, and unfortunately running out of time is really going to be that final member of the defense, just making it so much difficult to get that bomb down, especially with the smoke and all those other players still on that board at the end of that last round. Now we're going to head into this basement defense, as it seems like DropoUTS bring that mirror. Mirror rarely survives the ban phase, especially on this map. So how do you think this will run?
Well, depending how they utilize it, it could be either really good or really bad. Like, where he's putting them, I'm not sure if he actually put that second one down. He might have held it. But if he did put it over there near the hallway, it's going to go down like really quickly, because you can just shoot it straight through the ceiling. So it becomes kind of redundant. But it looks like we're going to be seeing a bit of a secret tunnel push through the back.
Quick action here. I don't actually, was that a breach charge? I don't think they reinforced dirt, so that's going to be giving the attackers... No, it was half reinforced. Oh, did they use a thermite charge in the dirt? Maybe. But yes, that does allow the sledge to walk through that dirt tunnel. And dirt tunnel very useful in that it cuts off the sight, but gotta be careful. Jackal Ping's coming out now as Pink Nix, his our star for the show. He's got the highest KD on this team, and he does want to make a huge impact, throwing out a frag now as he's slowly but surely pressuring these defenders in the side.
And that was a huge or it wasn't even a headshot, just a lot of big body shots coming out from Picnics. Able to pick up the first blood on the second round back to back, which is really good, but giving away his presence at the end of the day, he's going to really have to just wait around for his team to be able to pick up any extra information for him.
This Jackal is so detrimental to the visual here as he's forced to throw impacts and oh, he's taken out. Nice angle held from Eros. I'm gonna call him Scythe. But immediate refrag here on the other side of the map. Valrion actually pushing up those main stairs and getting a kill onto that bottom main stairs player. Brown Hulk is, however, taken out from the hatch, and with this hatch open and that dirt control, it's so hard for the defenders to hold onto any part of this site. As look at this, just watching from above and raining down hellfire if anyone comes close. Zero wants to contest this as he does have that Legion and he does have that amazing T5 SMG. Oh, Habana doesn't seem to know he's there and he takes a lot of damage. Flying Luigi's now on 1 HP, but the floor is being opened up above him and he has to be aware of that as he does not know where the next attacker could be. And yes, it's going to be Scythe to take down Brown Hulk, who was resurrected by none other than Val. Now Val's going to go for the flank, but look, the diffuser is already going down in the other side, and this is looking to be a very difficult situation.
Yeah, this is the second time we've actually seen Griffith kind of put a lot of pressure onto one objective and then kind of completely switch it up, which has worked out for them this time as they still have the diffuser down at least. But Valerion has taken down Pink Ninx, sorry. And he's going to be trying to make his way back in for the repush. But at the same time, there's not a great deal of time, and it's 1 versus 3.
Yeah, looking very rough for him. He needs to find these picks, but he's only got 5 seconds left on the board, and that diffuser is just ticking down ever so slowly. Tries to find a pick onto the Capital, does not quite land it, and yes, he's going to be taken out, dropping that hash. A fantastic response from the Griffith Red side, managing to find an attack just immediately after they unfortunately lost that defense round. So good play by them. They're going to be looking to kind of bring that scoreline up because it's so hard to find these attacking rounds on Clubhouse.
Yeah, and we did see Pink making sure that he was really able to utilize that sort of initiative that he took in both rounds. He was able to pick up those first kill both rounds, as I said, back to back, but like the rest of his team really took advantage of the numbers game and the pressure that he was providing, which allowed them to take a lot more control of the situation.
Yeah, and once
after you, my good sir.
No worries. And once again, we're gonna go onto that basement floor. A Wamai Jaeger being brought out this time. What do you think about this setup?
Yes and no. It's definitely better than the mirror pick. As I said before, even though mirror wasn't banned, it wasn't really useful. It didn't really help them hold control of blue like any better, and then the second mirror window just went down straight away. I'm pretty sure that once that hatch was down, it was just like it was all over, except for it was Barley, I think, who was just sitting in the bottom of B, just underneath the hatch, trying to get any picks that he could, because you can't get out, and you pretty much have to hard stick it, as they didn't have the rotation hole in the hallway. So, you know, it's hit and miss. Like, if they can hold off on more grenades, all the power to them, but it didn't really there wasn't enough grenades to really warrant it, is my opinion.
No, but you know what else I'm looking forward to? The ability to hold that mirror window in your hand and use it as a shield. So if maybe that would have worked out a little better than the mirror setup we saw that just fell apart on the previous round. However, it seems like they've learned from that mistake. They're going for that Wamai Jaeger instead. It's a little bit interesting we see on the basement floor rather than the top floor, as you probably want him to hold in that garage. Garage, very strong position, but you are susceptible to a lot of grenades. Attackers are actually taking the first floor very quickly, as we see these two players actually entering into secret. Now, Vigil is still on the top floor, so this could be a very influential flank.
Yeah, it's very an odd push. On one end of the spectrum, we have Griffith not really utilizing their drones. They're kind of just going into the rooms and clearing them like as you would with a gun, which isn't terrible, but it's just like that's how you lose players very quickly if you have somebody holding those angles. But Vape
Choose to
Nation
repeat that.
takes out Falmer. It's just like that was not the play right there, and that's the one of the Romans
Ouch.
going down so early. No more frisbees on the map. Well, no more that's been played at the end of the day. It's going to really come down to if Crack Nation can hold out as long as he can without them knowing to get that potential flank that they desperately need.
Yeah, Crack Nation's gonna be really hating that Jackal. Why do they have a Jackal? Why didn't we ban him? As he's been constantly pinged out, both in this round and that previous round, and that's just made his life as that flanker so much more difficult. Now, attackers are slowly pushing down, and it seems like the hatch in Moto is being opened now. Brown Hulk gonna have to watching out for anyone dropping out, as look, while the Griffith attack has been very split, it seems to be working now. As look, Scythe is taking out Valrion. So long angle from the hatch. You don't want to be doing that. Look, a flank from the Vigil actually taking out Flying Luigi's, and even though he's been tracked this whole time, he is making that impact. He chooses to vault, and unfortunate time here as Scythe is just going to be taking him down. Now, three attackers actually pushing straight down that main corridor. I've not seen this for a long time. They're going for that painted penguin method, as they're just all walking up. Brown Hulk taking one down from blue. It's got to be aware though, attackers are already in the site, and they are now getting that plant down. This is huge for the attackers if they can get this plant off, and Pink Nick's covering the diffuser in a very good position here, as Brown Hulk needs to go for this 1v3 retake.
Oh, and unfortunately, Vape Nation takes down Brown Hulk and ruins any dreams that the poor boys and the UTS dropouts pretty much had of holding on to that round. We are going into round 4, though. I'd like to double back, though. The hold that the dropouts had, unfortunately, towards like blue and it was on church. It was just very open-handed, I feel, and as soon as it came down to the 1v1 gunfights, they just lost out, unfortunately. If they're able to maintain a little bit of a stronger hold, maybe some barbed wire here and there, slowing down those pushes and taking advantage of their ordnance, they could definitely hold that.
Yeah, definitely. Unfortunately, just too much unnecessarily peeking. Like at the start of the round, we saw Vape get that kill as the Jackal onto one of the roamers of that Wamai, and just not enough intel really for the defenders to kind of suss out which site the attackers are going to be going for, as you've just seen Griffith are able to switch up their attacks so quickly, choosing between one side and the other. Unfortunately, that led to them losing the first round on that CCTV, so they'll need to be making some changes there, but if they're able to, I could see this attack half go very one-sided.
And as we do get into the prep phase, Griffiths are actually taking the lead, and well, it is their map, so that's not completely uncommon, with dropouts being at a little bit of a disadvantage, not knowing all the complete strats, but at the same time, it's 2-1. So it's anyone's game, even though they do have a little bit of a lead. It'll be interesting to see whether or not the Rook is able to maintain a little bit more pressure on the garage hold, and potentially they're able to take back a second win on cash.
I like this Rook on top of that garage though, as you see. Rook, he can both use his amazing gun and has that extra armor in case that he gets shot. He can really just tank the bullets as he sits up there. Garage is a very influential position for the defense, as it not only allows you to watch some of the angles going through the breach, but if you get in the right position, you can actually watch the construction door walking as well. So our attackers are going to be going for that same unconventional bottom floor hold. Falmir actually is a bit aware of this, and look, he's going to be challenged at entry here, as that's what they kind of did last time. That's what he's expected this time. Doesn't want to get picked off first, though. He plays it nice and passively. Actually, the attacks have fallen off. They've changed direction, and Zero showing his use here as, look, he's already got another pick through that garage door from his position in the rafters.
Yeah, I think that Scythe just got a little bit too aggressive, and unfortunately losing that ordnance of the smokes and incendiaries is going to make it a little bit more difficult to get that diffuser down in the late game if they're able to get the wall open. But Griffith is taking a little bit more of a slow push onto that east side wall of cash, which is pretty much what they were trying to do last time, but they just decided against it for some unknown reason. We do see Pinknicks taking out Falmo, and this is not completely weird, as he's been popping off all night so far, and it leaves it down to a 4 versus 4 with 1 minute 20 left on the clock.
Yeah, plenty of time for the attackers, but as they have got that wall open, this is now a nice open breach for them. They've made that adaptation and moved their Thermite back upstairs, who also has the diffuser. But now they have to contend with this Rook playing in the rafters. He is very pinched in that corner, and oh no, he peeks, but not quite shot yet. On the other side of the map, however, Crack Nation taking out Distraction. That's going to be taken down to 3v4 situation, as all attackers are outside this breach. We're going to see a very explosive execute through here very soon, as there's a lot of players going for that breach, considering there's just a single panel in that wall. Normally you'd have people pushing from the other side, but if any team can make it work, it's going to be Griffith, but not through a smoke grenade. Actually, Pink Nix wants to prove me wrong. He pushes right through that smoke grenade. He sees the smoke and takes him out. Valrion not quite finding that pick, and look, he's just opened that site all the way up. Now the diffuser can go down if it's in the correct position, but unfortunately this garage player is going to be saying, no, we don't want that to happen, and taking out that diffuser on the breach, taking another one out. Huge impact in the round, triple kill on Zero. Pink Nix needs to clutch this up, but he doesn't have much time, and he doesn't have any life left, as he is taken out all the way from that garage. And once again, another defense round on that top floor.
Yeah, Barley really popped off, as I said, in the garage rafters. As long as he was able to stick it, he was able to be incredibly impactful, taking away a 4K on what seemed like a bit of a doomed hold after the smoke went down. Didn't seem like they'd had enough pressure left to stop Griffith's push. But he was able to pull one out from his behind and pretty much just win it for his team there and then.
Yeah, huge 4K coming out at the end of that round, taking out all those players on that breach, as well as his opening kill, just bringing yet another CC defense into the DropoUTS' favor. The DropoUTS a little bit wary of that basement now, as they've lost it twice, so they're actually choosing to go to the gym bedroom site. They've brought a castle and also sixing onto that Jaeger, so it's going to be a very solid hold, you have to think. Going to be a bit hard for the attackers to kind of push through any of those castle barricades unless they've got a lot of explosives.
Yeah, it potentially could come down to how much pressure that DropoUTS is willing to put into holding onto cash, as well, as you're not really going to be holding too much of the bedroom itself. There's not quite enough area to move around in, and you don't want to be clumping your players too much at the end of the day. You don't want to be having 3 players standing in the same room behind the couch watching the television. Yeah. Though it could be a cool time with the boys, it's not really a sound strategy that's going to be coming out. And as I say that, Barley is going over to Cash to seal up those walls. Potentially, he might be playing Cash stairs, or he might be playing in the garage to slow down that initiative and try and hold off that southwest balcony as long as humanly possible.
Yeah, these operators really need to enforce that social distancing a little bit more strictly, as we've seen so many of both the attackers and defenders kind of cramped up in the same room. Hopefully they don't do the same thing on this site now. Our defense has kind of extended a little bit further into that CCTV, as you mentioned. That player of Bali, kind of in that garage site. Oh, what is this castle barricade? I have not seen this setup for a while. Seems like they're very content on holding that CCTV, as we see first the player in that garage and also the castle in a very influential spot here as he can kind of push through both sides. But Pink Nix is in a crossfire here as look, there's both players on his front and his behind. Drone spots out Barley in the garage and oh, he takes this gunfight, takes a lot of damage on both sides, but fantastic double up from Flying Luigi's who goes for that kill and takes it out as his teammate was being shot. Now has the opportunity to breach open this castle and Cracks is not going to be feeling happy in this corner.
Yeah, it was a really good strategy, just really poor execution, unfortunately, as we do see Flying Luigi's just absolutely dominating Cracked Nation with a nice cheeky headshot as he comes swinging around that corner. Pink Nix and the rest of the team slowly making their way through construction, and it's just not looking promising for poor DropoUTS.
Distraction on the flank as well. He's already taken out one of the players downstairs, and I wonder if he had a drone with him or it was just a very clever bit of game knowledge. Valrian actually taking out Pink Nix here as unfortunately not able to find a second one. The line of Vape is going to be taking a nice free frag back onto him, and now it's a 4v1 situation. Brownhole wants to find that pick, but unfortunately the shotgun of Buck showing him who's boss as Distraction just comes around the corner, no distraction needed, blast down that bandit and bring a third attacking round in for the Griffith Red side.
I'm enjoying the strategies that are being brought out, but a lot of the time, a lot of these trades are coming down to just wild swings and misuse of the strategies that they're trying to implement. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm not expecting in the world, but you can't win every gunfight with just swinging around the corner and clicking heads, unfortunately.
Well, apparently you can.
It's a roll of the die in that retrospect.
But yes, Griffith attacks have been a little bit loose, so Red would like you to fix that up, but I would like you to go in even more crazy. Just play by those strengths.
Wow!
Just walk in there and show them who's boss. But once again, the defenders go back to the gym. They want to give that a second try as well. I think that their positioning at the start was good. Maybe they need to just do a bit of fix up on those crossfires and make sure that they're playing together as a team. Because there was just a lot of kills going out one way and no refrag in sight.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the worst case that they had for that was, I think it was Cracked Nation was sitting inside Cache itself. And we also had Barley, who was sitting in as Legion. He was sitting inside the rafters, and he had like a really good position because the purpose of getting castled out is to give that false sense of security. As we saw the sledge, and we also saw Pink jump in through the window, and they're like, "Oh, like this looks kind of free. Like everything's going good. Let's jump in." But then they threw the drones out, and unfortunately, Barley had two options. He went, I can rush them right now, or I can stand on top of the drone and they can look at my feet." And unfortunately, he stood on top of the drone and looked at his feet, and he wasn't able to pick up the frag on Pink, which might have been detrimental, as we often see taking down the top frag can be very demoralizing for a team.
Yeah, hugely. Especially on the attack where you've got so much important utility. Now the Griffith attack are a little known to this. Falmir are going to be hiding in that rafters, but this time it is definitely droned out. A little bit of reinforcement applied to that CCTV as well, so it's going to be wasting a bit more of the attack's utility. Do we hear a square going down somewhere? As oh, the first pick actually coming out from Barley, who was on that top floor, but now he's moved over to the Cache. Is showing out his aim with that vigil now instead of the Legion. Falmir gonna be once again challenging from this breach, and it seems like they realized that the CCTV defense worked. They just need to replicate it, but on the gym side.
And what we're seeing here also, Zero, oh sorry, Barley, not Zero. The Barley and the rest of his teammates are pulling back onto the objective, though it's I don't want to say a little bit too late, as we do see Barley taking out Pink Nix on the objective. Sometimes you just got to go, all right, this is fine, fall back. We've only got a little bit of time to hold. And they've done that, which is really good initiative to take at the end of the day. You don't have to throw your life away just for a little bit of time.
Yeah, Barley is everywhere on the map right now. Was on that Cache stairs, and just a moment ago was just on the site somehow, denying that entry into the gym side on Pink Nix. Unfortunately, from pushing in, not going to be working out for Scythe either, as these frags are just falling one by one in the Dropout's favor. Falmir once again challenging on the breach and winning another gunfight, 1v1 versus Flying Luigi's, and this half is all but wrapped up. Crack Nation's going for a little bit of a swing here as, oh, the Jackal needs to find 5 to make anything happen. Could this happen? The Crack pulls out the secondary shotgun, wants to go for this BM kill, spots his player and lights him up. That's a flawless round coming in from the UTS side, and finishing that half off 3-3. Not terrible, but definitely a good recovery for them.
Yeah, I feel like Dropouts played that significantly better. Not in the sense that, oh, well, they won the round, so clearly they play better. But in the sense of they played a lot more slowly. They played a lot more methodically. And as you said before, with Griffith, they've been playing like really loose and really just gun-ho and just taking those gunfights. And sometimes it's just, you just plant yourself, play a really good angle, play the spot you want to play. They're going to come around to you anyway. Just click heads when he comes through.
Yeah. That is definitely their strategy, and it seems like it has worked out on that gym defense for the second time. Now, on the Dropouts attack, we're going to be seeing Akali as their response to that double anti-hard breach ban. Akali, do you want to tell me a bit more about this operator? Because some people hate her, and some people actually really enjoy that one-hit nature of the sniper rifle.
Well, she actually got nerfed in the last, I think it was the last season. And pretty much you can't get one-shotted unless you're a one armor, I'm pretty positive. It's different damage dependent on armor levels rather than just being a straight down and out now. So beforehand, it was a case of like you could quick scope nearly anybody, or at the end of the day, it's just like any angle she was holding. It was like old Blackbeard, where it's just like you put the Blackbeard on the window, and it's just like, well, guess we can't contest that anymore because there's a guy with 800 health shield just staring down the barrel. And so
Coordinated 5 drone.
Sorry,
cutting you off.
The Kali, just the nerf from that is a lot more bearable at the end of the day. You're not having to worry about that as much because now you can actually get tagged on, like while going across. It's not just a hit wherever and you're going to get down, which is a lot more, as I said, bearable, especially on this side where you can play all the way over at the spawn and get a really cheeky long, like the side angle, depending on where they open up the wall.
Yeah. And that wall open is what the attackers are going to be wanting to do. The whole team spawning that direction. Earlier in the prep phase, we saw a coordinated 5 drone push up that garage stairs. Maybe we see that from the actual attackers, but first they're going to be trying to get that wall open. As you see, the level's going to be going out now. However, Bandit going to be putting down more batteries, and I don't know if you win this fight, as it's just going to be a matter of who can get those utility put onto that wall in the most effective manner. Second level comes out as Fafnir goes for the second trick. Unfortunately, distraction out of Bandit batteries. They seem to have all been destroyed, and that's going to be the wall open very quick. Oh, challenging that spawn angle. You don't really want to be doing that. You just got a dinky little SMG. Kali with a mean sniper rifle. Going to be looking through that site and making sure that there are no players able to be in that bomb site.
Yeah, it was very interesting to say the least that Dropouts were able to actually get that wall down so quickly. It seemed like a very bread butter take. It was literally just, all right, get rid of the ordnance, wall down, and then followed up by we're seeing Falmir taking down Flying Luigi's over in the garage. It's just, everything's not coming up Millhouse for poor Griffith on the chosen map.
No. I think Nyx, however, with a refrag onto the hard breacher, has got his job done, but now with Vape Nation falling, this is going to be a very hard hold for the defense. Once again, they're all crowded up. 1 player on red, 2 in the CC cache bomb site. Attackers have that garage control, or at least they will have it in any second now. Brown Hulk on that flank watch in the bottom floor, making sure there's no C4 opportunities, as this diffuser is slowly but surely being ferried out. Val Ryan will probably pick that up from the balcony off his Thermite's dead corpse. Ouch, however. Brown Hulk is taken out. Now a 3v3 situation. these attackers are in good position, but they've got to make sure that they don't accidentally give up too many more kills here. More shots coming out, distraction, being tagged as an air trap goes off downstairs. And do we see a quick follow-up to that? No, we don't. The Valkyrie managed to make it out, and even though she's got impacts, maybe you could shoot the planter through the floor? I don't know, this attack is kind of stalling out now.
There's no more explosive left outside of Claymores, and it looks like the pinches are coming out. 25 seconds left on the clock. Distraction taking out Valerian, but getting with the trade, Cracked Nation being able to take out Pink, and that's going to be very detrimental, unfortunately, for Griffith. Their top fragger being down with only 15 seconds on the clock, but Distraction trading straight back to Cracked Nation, followed by, unfortunately, Distraction being swapped straight back out to Barley. Diffuser might go down.
The air jab! No! Oh.
Round going to Griffith. That was a very back and forth trade system. As I said, it's just going in hard, going in free, swinging for those kills.
Oh my lord, that round was almost thrown completely away. Valkyrie going in for that final kill, but the air jab knocking her off her feet. If that Nomad had found that final kill, that would have actually been around with the dropouts. Even though they were at a huge disadvantage with that low time, could have taken it back. But while they got that wall open so fast, it just felt like they couldn't do much kind of capitalize on any of that control they got. Especially with those picks in the garage, you'd think they'd be able to kind of push in a little bit harder than what was seen.
Yeah, we did see a little bit of control coming over onto the cache stairs, but it was lost so significantly, like quickly. And then, as you said, the push onto the garage just was a little bit too late. Potentially having two people come up and hold either angle while the diffuser goes down may have been the choice, but the call outs obviously up to then. Whether or not they're able to make it happen is completely like out of our hands. As I said before, there were no explosives on the board, so it really just came down to a gunfight and holding angles, and neither team wanted to hold up to that, which we're happy to see at the end of the day. More gunfights means more excitement, and we're gonna go into round 8, back into the bedroom.
Yeah, I did not expect this site to be coming out. Maybe Griffith throwing a little bit of a spare wrench at the dropouts, making it very unpredictable for them, as with the addition of the mirror, this gym site is actually extremely difficult to attack. Cracked taking out those cameras is cracked on the aim, you could say. Now, look at these defenders just crawling around that top floor. There's a lot of control actually needed to be taken by the attacks before they can get anything done, as they've actually electrified the CCTV wall, and that means Valerian is gonna be needed to kind of wait for some of his teammates to get those off before he's able to breach anything.
Yeah, potentially utilizing those two frags might help them out at the end of the day, but they still don't know where all the flying Luigis like Jaeger traps are. They could be covering the mirror windows. They could be covering the bandit batteries at the end of the day. I think I see a trophy system down in the corner to prevent it. Not 100%, but either way, it's just they're playing it a lot better. You play bedroom very similar to how you would play cache. The only difference is it's a lot easier to hold those hard angles because it's just all these left and rights coming in and out of each of the hallways, and it's just a lot easier to like get those quick step outs, and you can't just willy-nilly run in.
Oh no, Falmir taking the first opening kill onto Scythe, unfortunately peeking a little bit too aggressively once his wall was destroyed, but I've criticized them in the past for being so swing heavy, and oh, that is gonna go back to bite Distraction once again, as losing another fight onto that breach. Flying Luigi, however, able to trade one back, and Pink Nix on the other side of the map, getting a flank onto those balcony players, but this site is still in very loose hands, as we've got Flying Luigi's on very low HP, but he's already taken one out. He needs to find another one, unless the attackers are going to be doing something about it. Now Pink Nix also with another kill onto Cracked Nation, solidly in the Griffith favor. 3v2 unfortunately doesn't see Flying Luigi's, as we see the swing. We see a big swing in how this round is going. Like we see this swing playstyle just sometimes work out and sometimes not, leaving it just down to Brown Hulk.
He's going to have a very difficult chance to like kind of go for the exact same angle that his predecessors have gone for in the past, and both have ended up dropping. He got a little bit of damage down onto Flying Luigi's, I'm pretty sure anyway, but it's not probably the boldest idea to keep repeating the exact same angle over and over again, as we see him getting his face blown out through the back of his helmet. Flying Luigi's taking off another kill from the exact same hole for the second or third time.
Well, you know what they say: if something doesn't work out once, you keep trying again and again until your whole team dies. That's the famous saying, right? But yeah, Luigi getting a triple kill through that breach. Unfortunately, attackers not quite sure what they were doing, trying to push through that with so much determination. Maybe should have gone to one of the other entrances, but well, hindsight is 2020. We can't. It's very difficult to make that adaptation at the correct time, especially onto a bomb site that they were probably not expecting.
Yeah, they gave up a lot of pressure onto the roof. The hatch was already open towards where Mira was playing, and he was in a very awkward situation where he was having to watch two angles at the same time. But it was kind of at the same time indifferent. He was watching into construction, even though Legion had control of the balcony and had control of cash. So he was kind of like looking the wrong way a lot of the time. It just seemed a bit like a throw in the air at the. They had more that they could have played with their cards, but unfortunately, DropoUTS kind of put all their eggs in one basket and went, "Look, guys, the wall's open. Let's stick our goofy heads through it."
Yeah. So I'm seeing a distinct lack of Valkyrie C4 here on the defenders. We're gonna be going on that basement, but on this side, I would have definitely expected several C4s. Kind of, you really want them to be sailing up onto that roof in the kitchen. If any of the attackers dare to step foot in there, but maybe they should going down the dirt tunnel and seeing in horror as that is not reinforced. We've got 8 impacts instead of that C4, but yes, maybe these impacts could be very useful keeping that kitchen hatch closed, but if there are no players able to play in the kitchen in the first place, it could be very difficult for them to hold any kind of that control.
Yeah, leading towards more of a just maintaining having that having that hatch closed down. You maintain a lot of pressure on the objective. Like even if you get dirt tunnel, it doesn't really matter because, well, at the end of the day, the other team still has the main presence in the objective. You've got too many angles to watch, as we see Scythe take out Valion with an impact rate, surprisingly, unless they just spammed that and hit him with like a couple at the same time. That was a very, very quick death coming out.
They did. Look at this. From the overlay, they used 3 impacts, and well, I'm gonna have to take back my words, as impact grenades are actually apparently better than C4s. There's so much damage going up there, and that's gonna be the Habana taken out. So that's half your hard breach going off the board. When I said I wanted to look for some interesting strats, this is definitely what I meant, as proving how influential those impact grenades can be. Barley's gonna be pushing down this, but he's spotted out by an evil eye, and well, he's not gonna be having a good time here. Just a tiny pixel of him showing. Flying Luigi's looking at him, and oh, doesn't see that Nomad blending into the dirt tunnel, takes the first kill, and Falmir with the second onto Aero's side. Now this kitchen top floor is going to be banged open from the sledge, as the hatches also managed to be opened somehow. Unfortunately, impact tricking just not quite working out.
Yeah, Scythe getting taken out meant at the end of the day they didn't have any more impact grenades to really slow it down, as Pinknick's actually used both of his impact grenades for them to pick up the kill on the Habana. But that is one of the exothermic charges down, which puts them in a bit more of a sound position, as they can only take the back of Church Wall potentially, but more than likely we are going to be seeing a little bit of his booty hole just sticking out there, but we are more than likely going to be seeing a primary Arsenal push.
Yeah, that seems like the attack is going to be shaping up that way, as Falmir raining death from above, looking down that hatch and taking another kill onto Pink Nix. That's going to be all of that kitchen control lost. And now the plant is going down as Falmir drops the hatch, getting that ever so useful box down. Crack Nation going on a little bit of a flank here, pushing down the main corridor. Vape Nation has the LMG in hand, could spray down multiple players with that 80 bullet magazine, but no, it's actually Distraction who takes out Crack Nation. And Vape Nation, Crack Nation, they're combining their nations. Huge flank here from Distraction, using that LMG fire as his Q in, and oh no! Falmir also goes down. It's a quad kill from Distraction. Now they've got to find the fuser, and they've done it. They've retaken that round, and they take Griffith to that match point, ever so important.
Yeah, Distraction was able to take a hold of that round, probably just more due to really poor communication. He was able to drop the 4K, which was absolutely beautiful to see. He came around into the church hallway and picked up a kill, and went back up the stairs and came back down and down, picked up the Thermite who was down, and picked up the Nomad who was rotating back in. But that camera, there was a drone on the stairs which actually saw him, which tempted him to reactivate his gadget. So, as I said, that's more of just poor communication rather than poor execution coming out from DropoUTS.
Yeah, a little bit, but in the muddy sounds of that post plant, you've just got so much going on around you, so much firing, LMG raining down bullets from that maestro just through any of the soft walls. So you got to feel for the attackers sometimes, but yes, a little bit of poor communication there means that they're going to be losing that round and allowing Griffith on that match point. Now they've got to be perfect here until for the next 3 rounds are over. Otherwise, they're going to be losing that first map and giving Griffith that little bit of a heads up. Now, Griffith going on to the CCTV once again, I believe. What do you think about?
About them going back to CCTV?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, this is the bread and
Why
butter.
not the gym?
We saw this
Why
happen.
not the gym?
It's gonna go
Well,
with
not the gym, sorry. Why not the bar and stock is what I want to know.
Oh, mate. It's just like when you've got the bread and butter win in the hole, like they only need to win one more match, and you're pretty much playing like one of the best objectives to play, and they just have to play it slow and play it in a very similar way that we saw DropoUTS hold their garage. At the end of the day, it's just like you can give up the main wall, but until somebody pushes into either the garage or they're able to take control of construction, you can't get into the room.
Well, once again, Carly being taken out by Crack Nation. Hoping to get that wall open very quickly like before, and then maybe capitalize off it. Attackers were in a great position last time, so might be hoping and wishing that they had not lost that first round onto that CCTV. I believe that was kind of the closest they've been. The other attacks have been just a little bit off, unfortunately. Falmir goes for the trick. Sorry, it's actually Distraction this time, and oh no, Distraction not choosing the right wall, unfortunately, and that breach is going to be open rather quickly.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate. It had the definite potential to hold that wall a lot longer than they did last time, but
No rotate.
unfortunately he was unable to pick the correct wall. No rotation hold this time, which means at the same time that Luigi's doesn't have to worry as much as getting his 2D hole shot out through it. But at the same time, if he ever wants to rotate back in or needs to get out of those rafters, it's going to be very difficult and detrimental.
I wonder if they'll put that Carly kind of on the breach. She could really bang some big holes through that soft and unreinforced garage connector wall here, and really put that pressure onto Luigi's, who is just very isolated on that garage. However, this is the other way of doing this. IQ actually pushing through Mini into that garage. Flying Luigi's taking some damage and a lot of pre-firing coming out. While his ADSs might be able to catch grenades, they're unfortunately unable to catch bullets, and it looks like that is going to be his fate very soon, as the attackers are all in a good position. They're all cutting him off, and there's so many guns pointed at him. He feels like it's well, he might be taking out one, and oh my god, he takes out Crack Nation. Now Flying Luigi's goes for the second, but he's pinched from the other side, and that has to be the expected result here. Now, the attackers are in a good position as another frag grenade also from Brown Hulk, who once he walks up those red stairs and also takes out Pink Nix.
Yeah, Vape Nation really left on Pink open when he jumped over that shield, unfortunately. Pink more than likely thought, hey, it must be safe. My teammate's jumping through the window. All as he got a couple bullets in the face, unfortunately for him. Diffuser nearly went down, but it looks like dropouts have literally just come around and managed to wipe everyone off the team.
Yeah, huge round. Really capitalizing on all of the weaknesses of the Griffith setup, like that garage just being collapsed so quickly, and they actually took control of that garage rather quickly after they killed the Jaeger in the rafters, and that breach being opened. I believe the Thermite doing some good cover from that breach, making sure none of the other defenders could kind of make an impact as they were all cut off. So yeah, they've really kind of tuned up that CCTV defense and sorry, the attack, and fixed up some of the mistakes that they may have made last time going to that site. However, Griffith, they've got 2 more chances, and 2 more chances they'll take. So instead of going back to that CCTV, they're actually going to gym this time. I wonder if Griffith, I wonder if UTS are going to be making the adaptation needed to get the win onto this site.
Well, playing the Vigil in this setup is probably the better way to go. Having more roamers is definitely a good choice. Usually overall, especially when you're a team that's really playing on more just getting picks rather than like utilizing the strategy that you're using. Also, on top of that, we are seeing that dropouts in the last one did utilize their drones significantly better, which allowed for better communication coming out. And that's how they were able to pinch all the players. Lacking of hold on the cache stairs unfortunately meant that they had to give that up completely, which made everything fall apart. And so if they're able to do that again on like bedroom, where it's just not clump all their players together and talk about what's going on and be like, all right, I'll drone for you, you go in here, all right, kill that guy. Like, it can really play out for them. They're doing well. They just need to keep utilizing the same strategy.
Well, they say that one word is worth 1,000 pictures, or they don't. What am I talking about? One picture is worth 1,000 words.
One thermite charge is worth 1,000 soft.
Perhaps, but with the attackers on such a spread out take, this is going to be a little bit of a problem for them, as once again we got this wall open. Hopefully they don't kind of funnel their players, as you mentioned, through that breach. Scythe playing this a little bit more passively this time. We saw him being taken out first as, a nice actually frag grenade, downing Vape Nation, who is going to be trapped inside, and the drone spots him out. So a very good logistics take so far, but there are players in good positions to save his life, and yes, saving his life, that's going to be what it does, as, oh no, Picnic's got to get taken out, but immediate refrag, actually. Just been refragging back and back. 3-on-3 now. Our picture is showing us that there is a 3-on-3 situation, and that means that it is very even here. Flying Luigi's, once again, watching that breach, we've seen him make so much impact on this location. I'm not sure if the attack is going to be pushing in so heavily this time.
Yeah, if they're able to rotate off that main wall and get a little bit more pressure, it could come out really well. It does look like, ooh, Thelma getting the quick spray through the window. That's going to open up the objective for them significantly, followed up by the double onto Dextraction. And, well, it's all up to the Mirror, who got downed in the last place he was standing before. Potentially, they know exactly where he is, as he can't go too far. But that Mirror window isn't going to give him the viewpoint that he desperately needs onto the gym, where the diffuse has been placed in the doorframe.
Well, I was going to go for this 1v3, but the Nomad charge goes off. Nomad not hitting the shot, but does finish it off onto Vape Nation, who, as that thick 3 armor, going to be taking a few more bullets than expected. Yeah, that gym defense just kind of fell apart, but I really like that absolutely amazing frag grenade going down from that hatch and downing that Mirror in the first place. While the Doc did pick him up, it was at the cost of his own life, unfortunately. That hatch was essentially the breach, but in the opposite direction. The attackers just defenders just peeking that hatch and not winning those fights, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was a very interesting decision. Just all right, well, the Mirror's downed in here. let's shove 2 more players into the room. He's just been down from the hatch from
It
maybe we'll
always
get him up.
worked.
They traded off too many players to get the mirror back up, where it could have just been shoot the mirror window open and just to, like, evacuate the room.
Cut your
Once the hatch is
losses.
gone, yeah, you can't really be playing that mirror window as much, especially when the enemy team isn't pushing as much onto the like the south side balcony. If there's no pressure on the south side balcony, then there's like what point do you have holding that side for onto construction?
Yep. And we saw how that south side balcony just ruined the Jaeger who was playing right by the window. I believe got banged right through there. Luigi's unable to make the same play he did on our last defense. But dropouts have almost evened this up. It's 6-5. They just need one more round to bring it to overtime and give them that opportunity to get that last point. I'm predicting this is going to overtime for sure, right?
I would like to hope that Griffith are able to take their own match, like their own map. Sorry, not their own match. They're able to take their own map without it going into overtime. Of course, you always want to see more gameplay, and that would be nice. But if it's their choice on map, you expect them to be having that sort of extra information, those extra strats, better ability to play it rather than the other team just taking it away from them, especially when it went. You're a bit like, oh yeah, it went 3-3 before the halftime, so that they got those extra advantages. But now it's just been flipped the other way. Now it just looks like I don't know whose map this is. It could be either.
Yeah, and we see a first pick coming from Distraction, who has walked up those main stairs and taken out the second hard breach. So no more Thermite, no more walls being open, as we've just got Habana left. Habana's already opened up that kitchen hatch, so done a very good job so far. And Valorant now raining some shots down through their breaches. A lot of drones in the corridor here, so they should have good flank watch. Now, as we see a bit of teamwork actually. This live droning for Valorant, allowing him to enter pretty safely and get some of those angles into that kitchen side. Because of that, Arsenal side has been vacated from the defense. We've just got Pink Nicks kind of looking up that hatch, make sure no one drops. But if someone is going to go down blue or maybe some smokes come down, it could be very difficult for the defenders to hold this off.
On top of that, it's actually really smart that Distraction has evacuated all the way back to the main objective, and I don't think anyone's actually noticed him yet. So more than likely, dropouts are kind of having to play on those nerves that there might be a vigil just kind of like slowly lurking his way around as he's come all the way back around the flank and making sure that they definitely need to be fearing him coming up on the booty.
Oh, Pink Nicks, his teammate is down, but he takes out his revenge on the other hard breacher. These hard breachers are really not having any luck staying alive, but Valorant's going to be finishing off the down Valkyrie, and that is now going to be Arsenal control in for the attackers, as IQ has also dropped the hatch. The Fuser is, however, on the motor hatch. Oh no, this is a disaster, as there's very little ways for these last remaining two attackers to kind of retrieve that diffuser. They're going to need to find these picks. No default cam being shot, but that's not on. Distraction going for another flank. Oh, the Sledge is waiting for him, but he still wins the gunfight. And Luigi's with another swing onto Barley. That's a GG. And denying that overtime, bring home their own map. And that 1 point in for the Griffith side. So very good defense on that basement there.
Yeah, it was good to see that Dex was really able to, as I said, utilize his presence. Whereas he got that first pick and then he rotated pretty much the whole around of the map, and dropouts not really putting any presence in the garage meant he was freely able to come back up. Have the scoreboard on your screen, couple of 12s, couple of 10s. That's a lot of kills coming around all around the board.
Yeah, Pink and Dex both on 12 kills, and also on the other side we've got Barley and Fafnir showing up when it's most needed. Really bring their team in for that kind of last couple rounds. I'm sure 3 rounds in a row on that defense gonna be making it a bit hard, but the attackers coming back for 2 more rounds and then just falling short at the final stage. Unfortunately, 7-5, still a very close game, much closer than what I've expected actually. but it's actually going to be Griffith taking it out for this first map.
Outside of that, though, definitely want to be trying to listen in a little bit more to those team communications. As you said, coming out from DropoUTS, they definitely could have taken away a few more rounds if they utilize their hearing a bit more. And talk about utilizing your hearing. Rigger headphones are a good sponsor and do have some nice headphones if you want to go check them out on the website. Outside of that, I think we're swapping over to a break just about now.
Yep, we'll see you soon. And welcome back everyone to the Australian Esports University League. I hope everyone's had a good break, got their Chatime and their Indomie noodles ready. It's once again time for our second map of the series. This is Griffith Red versus the DropoUTS, and Griffith have taken a very slim victory on their own map of Clubhouse 7-5. We're going to be heading into our second map soon. How do you think this one is going to go, Red?
Well, if it's anything like the first map, Dropout had a really not dominating at all, but they were nearly able to take away their own opponent's map, especially on both attack and defense. It just went 3-3, and then it nearly went. What did we end on 7-5?
Yeah.
So they were nearly in the same league on their away map at the end of the day. So if they're going to someone that they call home, that they know the strats, that they know what's going down at the end of the day, like they could definitely take it away from them very, very easily.
Yeah, Oregon is a pretty standard map, I'd say, but here we have the roster for you. Sorry, the map bans for us, as yes, indeed we are going to be going on that Oregon as we decided a bit earlier. So what are kind of the standout players that we kind of saw last map? How do you think they're going to perform here?
Well, we saw Pink drop first blood for the first first 3 rounds. He managed to pick up the opening frag every single time, which then, even though they may not have won the round, it definitely put them on the front foot and gave them that ambition to keep pushing out. Outside of that, though, Bali got that cheeky 4K, which was able to hold out in a round, and yeah. It was kind of clean all around. Most players did their part. As we're saying, Dex really went above and beyond with his roaming potential, which held the bag in for Griffith. But you know, as I said, I'm more leading. This is going to be the Dropouts map, 100%.
Yep.
And
okay.
How do you think it's going to go? Which way do you reckon? Who are you voting?
Well,
Who are you putting chips down?
Well, I definitely was going to go for that Dropouts team, but they've actually shown me that they have a lot to play for on that Griffith side. I was not expecting them to win that last map, but it seems like they've really brought it together and kind of made this amazing team. It might not be too team-based, but they really show the frags where it counts. And if they're able to do that on Oregon, which is, I would say, actually a little bit more of a freer map than Clubhouse. You kind of can wing it a little bit more, especially it's a bit newer, and maybe its playstyle just leads a little bit more to that kind of frag-heavy style that we've seen Griffith play in that previous map as well. But it is going to be Dropouts map, so it's their home turf, and they'll have practiced on this map. They'll be liking this map, and I'm interested to see what kind of interesting setups they might bring.
Absolutely. Little disappointed that we didn't actually see a little bit more coming out from Brown Hulk. He did have a really good KD coming in, and he did get to pick up a decent amount of frags, but a lot of the time we saw him on a little bit of the back foot. So if he's able to get a little bit more of a highlight reel going on, see if he can spot those frags out, do the work, do the thing, and just make that money at the end of the day. I'd absolutely love to see it. As we said before, it's pretty much A-Ram and Brown Hulk with Pink really top fragging. So we're just currently waiting to flick on into the match. We shouldn't be too far away, but we're going to be going into it. And if you like this sort of viewing experience, or you'd like to increase your viewing experience at home, AOC have been selling monitors and the sort for about 50 years. So if you need new technology, jump over to their website to pick up some new gear.
Yeah, they make some amazing monitors. Especially, I'm running their 24-inch 165 Hz monitor, I believe. Very affordable, and also very useful. At higher refresh rate just kind of helps you see these targets a little bit more in detail. Griffith are going to be banning the Nomad on the Oregon map. It seems like in their previous experience, they're tired of just being knocked around from those air jabs, as we saw in a couple of rounds previously. They don't want to deal with that anymore. Dropouts are going to be banning the Thatcher. Pretty standard ban, I'd say. You don't really want to allow Thatcher to stay up, especially in a map like this where his anti-hard breach can really be put to good use.
Yeah, Thatcher's one of those operators at the end of the day. It's just like he's going to be banned out a lot of the time, and especially in the sorts of maps on the lower end of the match or the ranked pool, where it's you don't want to have to deal with that extra headache at the end of the day. You don't want to have to deal with the bread and butter coming out. It's if you can absolutely throw a kink in somebody else's ball, like absolutely get rid of it. So Cade and Malusi, we saw these are nearly the exact same bands we saw out of the last one.
Wow, yeah, just minus Nomad, but how do we throw a kink in a ball? That's impressive.
Well, it's probably like have you seen like a rubber band ball?
Oh yeah, I could see it. Yeah.
Oh man, how many pictures have you gotten some words?
Oh no. Well,
I'll let
words
you take that one
aside.
away. Go ahead with it.
Words aside, we're gonna be seeing our first round on this Oregon map. Dropouts. Wait, dropouts on the attack. Sorry, phased out there for a second, and we have Griffith on that defense. Now, Goyo and Mira are both being brought on this defense, so this might just be making it very difficult for the attackers. They don't seem to be bringing a lot of explosives.
Yeah, but it is their home turf, so they may have played against a strategy similar to this. It is going into the basement, so it could be a lot of pressure onto blue. More than likely, we're going to be seeing a mirror window plus those shields placed over into the blue area to try and like slow down the push as much as possible. And then potentially the extra one Scythe putting onto the wall that he's putting it onto now. But I don't think it's overly necessary on that specific wall. Maintaining control of Freezer and maintaining control of blue really is a lot of the time where you're putting all your ordnance.
Do you think we'll see one of those flame shields come back to bite the defenders? You can see them. This one is being placed in elbow, and that's a very interesting location because a lot of the time you'll have a player actually playing there, and if that shield blows at the wrong time, you might have a bit of a fried defender in the back there. Now attackers have spawned in, and they're going to be starting to make their way through the map. Seems to be a little bit of a big tower take. What kind of defenders have been set up on this side? We've got that mirror being placed in this electrical box. Kind of look into that door. And we've also got a distraction actually roaming up these big tower stairs. It's the visual, so it's going to make the drone work a little bit more difficult as our attackers go in for that entry.
Yeah, I'm not seeing as much pressure on those basement floors, which is good to see as Dropouts taking the early advantage and making sure that they clear out as much of the top work. Ooh, and Falmer taking a little bit of damage from distraction. Ooh, but getting traded straight back on the health bars coming out from Valiant.
Yeah, distraction, hold up in T3. It's got no way out. Going down will result in a spray of bullets from that window as he's now being peeked upside down. He spots the head and there's two people next to him. Flashbang sailing out and oh no, there's not much he can do. He's taken down, but at least he's wasted a minute 15. Done some good damage on the Thermite. If he had got that kill, that would have been huge on his part, just denying that hard breach, but unfortunately not quite landing that final shot, and now it's a 5v4 situation. The defense still in a reasonable position. They've wasted a lot of time, so they've at least got that going for them, but they need to play this just a little bit less aggressively.
Yeah, holding up inside is definitely a good strategy. Losing out on your hatches very early and losing out your Roma is going to put a lot of strain on the sort of turtle strat. We do see all the hatches going down. Obviously, the freezer hatch going down means you've got to backpedal back into the hallway. You can't really just sit in the hallway because the stairwell's there, and then the other mirror window going down because the other hatch is open in meeting hall. This is going to put so much strain on each individual player as they slowly, potentially get picked off.
Well, looks like it started as Arrow Scythe is taken out through that soft wall. Now Brown Hulk and Luigi's are going to be trading as, oh, the humanity. Scythe is taken down. Now IQ pushing in from the side, but it's actually going to be Crack Nation who finds that pick onto Vape Nation. Oh, the names, man. And yeah, it looks like Pink Nix himself is left in that 1v4 retake. He spots the Barley of that gridlock and takes him down, but now they know his position and they know exactly where it's coming from. He's got 1 door to go through and 3 to find, and it's actually going to be Valrion to finish off that round and take that first attack for their side. That is not kind of something I would have expected, considering how defender side of this map tend to be.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's always going to go down to like how much experience you have on the map, and potentially not being able to utilize those extra bromers and also Dex dying at the start really threw off a lot of the strategy that they had. They had to give up both hatches pretty much instantaneously, and they put probably a little bit too much ordnance in a direction that never even got pushed. So
yeah, and those mirror windows also just could not be held once they lost that top floor, as you saw the hatches being opened, and after that there was not too many things that could have stopped that freezer side take.
yeah, without getting any extra people off the objective, and there's already so many angles that you have to be holding. So at the end of the day, it is what it is what they say, and we're going into round 2. There's not much you can do in that situation, and they're more than happy to take it onto the top floor. Hopefully able to utilize the roams a little bit better this time, not get themselves pigeonholed into the top floor of the tower. And maybe just get a little bit more on the picks. As I said before, Dex getting picked off really early wasn't in their best favor. Pink and him have been doing God's work in the previous match, but going down really early is going to really demoralize the rest of your team. And as I said, if they're all by themselves, well, it falls apart.
Yep, but you know what else could demoralize your team? Walking straight into one of those 3 frost mats that Scythe is putting down. Those frost mats just instantly down you if you step into them, and especially if you're not expecting them and you need to vault through a window or something, you are not going to be looking down to shoot them, as unfortunately could end up in a very unfortunate chomp and a loss of life. Now the attackers have taken that tower already very quickly, so this is shaping up to be a very strong attack, as it seems like these attackers are very comfortable, and we'd expect that, as this is the DropoUTS map. They've made good progress here, but we've also got Distraction still on this flank. He was not able to make too much impact, and he won't be making much impact on this round, as Valorant just too good on that flank watch and taking him out.
Yeah, being able to pick up Dex again is going to be a bit of a downside for Griffith, as they try to hold off as much as they can, but that's even less time that he was able to hold than the last one. And we see some cheeky picks coming out from Barley as he picks up Scythe, and it's just all falling apart for Griff. How do you reckon that they can salvage this?
Oh, it's looking very difficult now, as we've also got that generator warbling open up. Defenders, they need to find some pigs here, and Pink Nix is going to be swinging and catches Barley on the drone, cuts him down. Unfortunately, Crack Nation on the immediate refrag, just pushing that a bit too aggressively, and now Falmer with another frag, just leaving it in a 1v4. We've seen Flying Luigi get that 4k last round, as, oh, a chomp goes down on Falnia, but Valorant with that nice long angle, using his G8's good ability, finally picking up that round for DropoUTS once again.
Very, very sound push. They didn't overextend too much, and they were able to take exactly what they needed, picking off each of the players of poor old Griffith and leaving them with nothing left. And nice mat. Oh dear, we did see at least one frost mat go off, but you know it didn't pay off as much as they would have hoped for. No picks have come out just yet. Maybe this is going to be a last detrimental throw in, spatter in the wrench, if you will. Nearly the exact same lineup that we saw in the last basement. Hopefully they'll be able to utilize the information that they got off the last game or last round to have a better idea of how the push is going to be coming out. But do you reckon they're going to play it in the exact way, or try something else?
I definitely don't think Dex is gonna be going up that third floor tower once again. He's picked the rook this time, so bring that armor once again. With maybe as with the last map, we've seen how this armor actually can be pretty useful for this team, but I think they're gonna be playing this just a little bit more passively, or they're gonna be roaming in like a little bit less of a dangerous area. That T3 really, you are really committed once you're up there. There's no way you're getting back down. So maybe Dex might be going up some of those stairs, kind of playing around that, hoping to fall back in the future.
I'm really enjoying the basement view where the birds are flying over the top of the camera. It's just like, why is this aesthetic in the game? Ubisoft was like, ah, yes, I love the basement view of these birds.
How did they even get there?
Outside of that, though, getting into round number 3 in DropoUTS' favor, it is 2-0. 2 minutes 45 still on the clock. Got the whole round ahead of them, and they're doing a really good job of making sure they drone everything out. Dex has been a real thorn in their side every single round with the amount of roaming he's been doing, amount of flanking, coming back and getting those picks, and really putting DropoUTS at that man deficit, which has caused them to lose a lot of those rounds. It's either been Dex or it's been Pink, like picking up those kills and throwing like a spanner into the wrench at the end of the day. Do you reckon they're playing better this time? That's their map, or do you reckon it's just purely down to gun skill?
I think they're playing this map like way better than what we saw on Clubhouse. We see not only this live droning from Bali, letting Valorant enter, and look at this, they've taken so much map control, and they're capitalizing on the mistake that this hatch is not reinforced. Sledge missing a skill into distraction, unfortunately, but Frag Grenade is sailing out, and also that mirror window is going to be taken down any second now. Once this hatch is open, there's no way you're going to be staying in that room for much longer. Seems like the defenders have set up a lot of utility in order to deal with this blue side push, and that does seem like the attackers are shaping up to go that way, but there is a flank actually coming down these main stairs and these freezer stairs at the same time, so a very good coordinated push as we just see the attackers encroaching on all sides of the map.
Very interesting on Bali's push. He's trying to get his way down there, and he knows that he can't get flanked as that's pretty much exactly why they brought the gridlock. But we are seeing Dex and also Scythe holding the exact same angle, hoping to get any sort of pick that they can. This angle's just coming down to a why bother? We can just take any of the other 5 entrances that we can. And whew, that's surprisingly not what I was expecting to see, as Foul taking out Scythe, followed by the trade back by Pink taking off Val.
Oh no, the shield goes down and fries the Jaeger sitting behind, and this blue side push as rapid rotate from the DropoUTS has seemed to caught Griffith off guard, as they did not place too many players on that side. Now 2 players are going to be down, and it's just up to Vape Nation in a 1v3 situation. He's not in the side, he's in that freezer side, his feet are being tagged. That Crack Nation pulling out the pistol, throwing those flashbangs as the plant is going down. I'm just imagining a kill with that Cabana launcher, but that doesn't seem to be happening, as it's going to be using that to open the wall instead. And now Vape Nation in an impossible situation once again. We've got 3 guns trained on him. There's no way he can get out of this. And Falna doesn't even wait for him to swing. He just goes in for that kill, pads out his stats a little bit more. Get to see some good gameplay of a thermite charge being placed down in our kill cam, as that's the 3rd round for our attacking side, and this has been an ever so dominant attacking side.
Yeah, they're just absolutely running through Griffith's defense. It seems like as much as they seemed like they knew what was going on when playing on Clubhouse, it's just they don't have that sort of that edge or that sort of enthusiasm that they did to make these runouts, to make the plays that they need to be making. And it's really showing in the sense that we're not really seeing Dex and Pink pop off as much as they did in the last match, which results in no extra players being coming down, no motivation to the team, leads to no man advantage, which just comes full circle of they're the team that's getting picked off one by one instead.
Yeah, these defenses have not worked out for Griffith, but they've taken that in stride. They're going to the kitchen dining hall this time. Definitely out of the two sites I expected that they could have gone to, I did not think that they would go to this side, as it's very interesting in that there are a lot of different ways to hold. You can hold from the showers. You can play further back in the kitchen itself with some stronger powered scopes, but yeah, not my first option for sure in to try to get that crucial first point and break that momentum.
Yeah. I do have a bit of information to throw out that might change up what you just said. You can't really play the showers though, because if you play around too long in the showers, someone might think you're a bit of a perv, and that's definitely not what you want in these sorts of situations. You want to maintain a nice sound. What's it called? Not. I was going to say relationship, but that's not what I'm looking for. It's respect from your teammates and not being called that. So
look, you've never had that one person hog the shower for like an hour 30?
Oh man, every day of my life.
Get in it. Really need to use it.
Cold water. I feel like more than likely, Doc is the kind of guy who stays in the shower for an hour and a half and uses all the hot water.
Oh, find out here as the attackers, they're pushing in from that big tower side, and they'll soon see that Luigi is indeed in the shower once they've cleared out these players in the top floor. And there are two players here to contest them, but there's not too much reinforcement, so this is maybe coming down to just gunfights as we see some shots being attempted both ways. A few tags coming out here and there, but not much really dished out on either side. Attackers have got control of this top floor, however, and this is very quick.
Yeah, Dex going for a lot of really ballsy, like what's it called? Not leans, like crosses and whatnot. And he's coming back around to try and get the flank here, which he's actually able to get, as Barley was just waiting for him at the end of the day. He's been playing flank watch this whole time, even though he has got that massive frag potential. It does seem like he likes playing those three armor operators. And that breaching charge, that poor man's legs.
Well, luckily they made the change where breaching charges don't do too much damage if you're on the charge side of it, because that would have definitely killed him pre-patch. But now look at this, so many frag grenades and bullets coming from the top floor. Arrow Scythe and the Doc just taking cover in the security room, but this is so difficult for the defenders to do anything. And I was just going to mention actually, the default cam on top of those main stairs never got shot, so the distraction had the call out from his teammates that yes, that player was there, but unfortunately unable to find that pick. Now Pink, they're going to be finding that low health gridlock down, and oh no, while I was waffling on about that, two players have gone down, and Fafnir walking through the breach, going to be taking one of those players out. Pink Nix is on the bottom floor, and the fuser is going down. Can he do something about this, as there are just two players remaining, and now one?
Yeah, Pink really tried for that long rotate as he's able to get a quick cheeky pick back onto Valerian, which gives him the triple, but it's still not enough time. It's 30 seconds. You need a certain amount of time to defuse. Plus, he's got to take out the two deep attackers who are going to be holding the good angles. It's just, I'm not seeing it really going to be coming out. He's got too many angles to check. But flashbang's in hand, and oh, he's completely blinded, but they don't quite know that. He peeks around the corner and is able to get one. Pink takes down Cracked Nation, but he's going to get shot through the hole in the wall. Velma, it's just, oh, you hate to see it, especially when it was good momentum. As I said, holding those really, really good angles, and just, it didn't seem like it was possible. I was surprised he got the kill off the flashbang.
This is the siege we want to see, everyone. Completely blind, swinging that corner and just firing all the bullets into that Habana, but fortunately unable to kind of get that diffuser down in time. There's just so much time being wasted, and attacking squad did a very good work on that post plan. As yes, you don't have to swing everything, guys. Once that diffuser is down, you can just play that time like you are the defenders and have that diffuser be your extra man. But this is 4 rounds in a row from the DropoUTS attack, and at this point, you've really got to be thinking to yourself on that Griffith team, we need to change something up. And that seems to be that Valkyrie being brought.
Extra information can make the roaming a lot easier, though the downside is that it's seemed that the communication has gone significantly south for Griffith over the course of this map. And as I said before, the momentum that Pink and Dextraction would normally pick up for the team has kind of put them in a bit of a lull state. And hopefully, well, I would like to see this Valkyrie pick, as you said, it's just like the swap up, the different pace. They're trying something different. It's good. You're not just keep doing the same thing and hoping something changes. So
Yeah.
good to see. Hopefully they're able to recover that communication issue and really like start picking up some kills.
Hmm. And it's a bit hard to comment on their mind state now, but you kind of have to be a bit worried for them. They've lost 4 rounds in a row, and that can be so devastating to your morale. So they're really going to be wanting some early picks here, as Vape Nation actually is holding that armory. This is not something we see very often. The site is that top floor, and armory can be a very useful location. If he doesn't get wall banged, oh, Bali doing so much damage using his patented reflex sight. Doesn't want to use any magnified scopes, as a nation is forced to fall off this. Should we call him Max, actually? Let's go for Max.
Max?
Crab Nation, on the other hand, shooting open the barricade, and it seems like they've got a nice little bit of bedroom. Could go in there and get that breach open once those bandit batteries are removed.
Yeah, very slow and methodical push coming out from the dropouts. It seems like, as I said before, now that it's their turn to be on the map that they want to be playing, that they're very, very comfortable in their home turf. They're droning all the things that they know that they would be playing. They're checking where all the Valkyrie cameras potentially might be, any extra C4s through the floor. Though, unfortunately for them, Dex is able to pick off Cracked Nation. Like, not crazy early into the round, but he does get swapped back by Val. But Habana being down, it could cause a little bit of a disturbance in the force.
Well, distraction's been nothing but a distraction so far, and he makes his worth shown on this round, taking out that first pick ever so critical. Pink Nix takes a lot of damage, but he can heal it up. However, attackers are slowly but surely pushing through that attic and making sure that they don't fall back to another frost mat trick. Pink Nix is almost back on full HP, and Fafnir is left flaming a little bit in this attic side, as you cannot drop this. Please do not drop this. Pink Nix shoots at the drone as it pushes past attic. Fafnir taking a lot of fire from all sides now. And oh, actually the window player taking out Max, and now one of those angles are completely removed. Fafnir might be able to cross over, and he has indeed. Can get the diffuser over to his preferred plant spot, but Scythe taking out Valorant. Plant might be going down very soon, and if this gets off, this could be a huge thorn in the defender side.
Yeah, they've got pretty much every angle locked down, and as we do see, Barley's takes out Scythe as the diffuser goes down. We're down to the 2v2, though, as Pink is able to swap back onto Brown with a cheeky headshot across the room. But they don't have a lot of breathing room, as it's literally yet again down to Pink to like pick up for the rest of his team. He just swings around. He's able to pick up the double kill, but oh, a little too ambitious as he comes around straight through the smoke, not ADSing. No bait, nothing. Just comes straight through. Man on a mission, isn't able to win it. And that round is going to go straight back to dropouts, unfortunately.
Yeah, and 5th round in a row. This is seriously getting out of hand. Could they go for a 6-0 half? That would be definitely showing their dominance on this map in particular, as just we see so much team synergy coming out. We've seen just the refrags, the camera work, all working out in favor in the dropouts, and on the Griffith side, unfortunately, they've not shown up too much. We see a lot of interesting picks now from the defensive side, as well, we've got a Pulse, we've got Kapkan. They might be going for some C4 plays, but oh, this is getting real spicy. The Caviera, our last desperate pickup from that Griffith team. If they're able to make this work, this might be huge for their momentum.
And nothing like a little bit of spicy in Mama's meatballs. But as you said, changing it up could be exactly what they need. Throwing the trap operators in, and I'm not really sure about putting Vape Nation on the Caviera. The man might be on a mission to prove himself and be like, look, Dex, you know, I know you're all about that roam game, but how about you sit on the objective and I'll go I'll go kill people instead. So they swapped it up. We're seeing Dex on the mirror this time, Vape Nation on the roam. Nice little bit of a mix-up, similar operators that you'd normally see anyway. But potentially this, as I said, keep swapping things up. Find something that works. It may come down and like benefit them. At the end of the day, Vape Nation may play like a really passive, like roaming game, which may lull the other team into a false sense of security, whereas normally Dex would play incredibly aggressive. And then on the other end of the spectrum, Dex on the main objective may mean that it's such a hard hold site that they're not able to get as much either information or much of a foothold and push everybody else off of where they need to be playing.
Yeah, this Cav is definitely gonna be a problem for the attack, as she has been spotted out, and now they have to be so careful of being alone. That pistol can be so devastating, just downing you in 2 or less shots if it is a headshot. But he's also got to be careful as well. And Caviera is not invincible, unfortunately. Has very low armor as well. So if you take too many shots, you're going to be going straight down. Doc's not going to be able to help you on that one, fam. Vape Nation playing this a little passively, but it's actually found me to find the first kill, just walking into Flying Luigi. Just got the Thermite walking straight into sight, sure, why not? Let's make that work. Cav taking a gunfight here, but that's a solid advantage in the DropoUTS favor.
Yeah, as I said before, it's 1 minute 30 and he's still getting a bit of roam out. He's not really been able to do a great deal. He's put a little bit of damage onto Barley, but outside of that, it's just a slow and methodical sort of play with their minds. Unfortunately, though, Falmir's taking out Pink, and that's the top fragger for poor old Griffiths getting taken down, but traded back by Dex, who was able to try and lock down that objective for them, but they lost blue this time very, very early in comparison to their last holds that they invested a significant amount more into. Followed by Dex getting the double kill, but he's downed. Is all hope lost?
It could be, but Vape Nation, it needs to find this pick here if they have any hope of bringing it back. But no, he falls back. Oh, a Scythe actually taking out Falmir. Now he's going to be finding another pick actually and puts it in a very winnable situation. Valorant down to him to clutch a 1v2 and ensure the flawless half. Aeroscyphe going for that diffuser, and this forces Valorant's hand as he pushes in, no cover from the Caviera. Caviera just narrowly missing that angle, and even though the IQ is spotted, Max needs to find this kill very soon. He's got 16 seconds left on the board. He doesn't want his team to go on that 6-0 and have to take out that perfect half, but oh, pre-firing coming and downs him. Could he get on the defuse in time? Does he have this? I don't know if he has this.
I don't think he has enough time.
So close, and no, the attackers are gonna be winning that round by those few milliseconds that the IQ brought. Just sacrificing her body and getting that round in for the attackers, but perfect half coming in, and that is something that you just have to say, don't take this team onto Oregon if you play them in the future.
Bloody hell, that was a very big old butt clencher coming out in those last final moments. It looked like Griffith was able to take back a little bit of the rope in this tug-of-war situation, but unfortunately enough, poor old Scythe dropped the ball on that defuse. He kind of stuck his head in the corner and played the old hide-and-seek game of, if I can't see you, you can't see me, and got his back blown out as he was trying to stick that plant. Though, admirable as it is, we do know pros don't fake, so he's definitely got a future going for him. But it is match point as we come to the halfway.
You don't hear that too often. Griffith are going to have to be perfect on their attack, which is an even more uphill battle. DropoUTS could do, they could take out any funny strategy and just get that 1 point that they need. Could be playing extremely crazy or just could be playing normal. They just need 1 point, and that kind of mentality is going to be weighing down hugely on the Griffith, their mind. As yeah, our top floor defense gonna be very standard. As you see, Smoke, the Mute, the Jaeger. I'd say definitely very competitive, very serious ops.
Yeah, definitely putting down potentially exactly what they need, but it could go either way. You never know. It could completely be Griffith just suck at defense on this map. Maybe attack is their baby. Maybe they bring it home. They bring back the six wins back to back. We won't know until we see it play out. They could be absolute monsters. Though at the same time, they could also play exactly the same way as we saw them play in the past. But it's always exhilarating to find out and see them play, as we are 30 seconds into potentially the last round of this map. Depending on how aggressive or how quickly they play this, I'm not really sure about this drone, as we just saw some bullet holes fly through the window, and that drone goes down instantaneously. I like the ideology of they do need to start droning a little bit more, but that's not how you utilize those drones. Ooh!
That is a close angle. Needs his new AOC monitor so crisp in order to be able to get that pinpoint pixel angle. Cracknation taking a lot of damage, but bring it straight back onto Pinknix and Valorant with the shotgun onto Distraction, who seems to have jumped in somewhere, and that is definitely not the play. However, Max finds the first pick onto Fail Misrep, and 3v4 situation, it has stabilized in the defender's favor somewhat, but there is still definitely a chance. Cracknation very low on HP, but jumping in, 2 goes in, like, 2 right through that window and takes 1 out. But it's a quick trade. Luckily for Vape Nation, he's got these impacts, going to be opening the shield, but no, he's going to be picked off from the other angle, and when you're just down to arrow side, he's got his shield on his gun, but he's got 3 to find, and 3 very entrenched defenders. They got smoke grenades, they've got everything going in their favor.
Yeah, he's going to be trying to come around the corner. He's able to pick up 1, but straight in the booty hole, as his shield was not quite hooked on as much as he thought. Doesn't quite surround him. GG's coming out in the chat, and that one's going to go to a 7-round win. Flawless victory for Dropout. Very nicely played.
Well, I may have doubted them in the casters panel, but it seems like they've just taken what I've said and chucked it straight at me, because they are proving that with the 7-0, they are not to be messed on this map. Pinknix making an impact for his team, but unfortunately, with the limited number of rounds they found, which was 0, unfortunately, the DropoUTS just showing that they are a much better team on that map.
Yeah, as I said, potentially before, if the maps were played in the other order, there is a decent chance they could have taken away both maps from just having pure, the amount of aggression that they put into that last one would have been detrimental to your mentality coming into your own map, being like, it's all right, guys, we'll pick this up, we'll be fine, and then you drop a 3-3, and you're just like, oh no, maybe we don't pick this up, and then that could have been the breaking point, the make or break. You never know. We will never know. But it went to 1-1 either way. Both teams played really well. Unfortunately enough for Griffith, they got absolutely stomped on that last one. But all's well ends well.
You know, you win some, you lose some, and that was definitely an L. But a draw coming out from these two teams, they're both going to be in contention for at least moving a little bit more up that board. So we're not going to see either team kind of establish their point lead over the other in too much of a way. So these two teams, they might not be in it for the playoffs, but I'm sure they'll at least give it a good show in our future rounds. Now, this is going to be the series done for us, and I hope you had a great time watching these two amazing games. That first one was super close, and this one might have been a little bit quick, but I'm sure we all enjoyed it. That's gonna be it for me, and I hope you enjoy your Chatime and your Indomie noodles.
That's us signing off. We'll catch you guys in the next one, hopefully.